ladies, welcome back to the Confidence Club. I am so happy to have you here today. Today is going to be a very deep and ideally inspiring message for you. I am going to be sharing a little bit about my story, and I hope and intend that this will put a change in your heart and show you exactly what's possible for you and prove it to you that you can in fact make a change in a short amount of time. Your life really can become something that you never could have imagined it becoming, and it can happen faster than you expect it to. So I am filming this at the end of October in 2024, and in May of 2023, I was living out of my car. I was single. I had just moved to a new state trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life from here. I had closed my former coaching business because I needed the time and bandwidth to focus on healing and recovering from the tumultuous relationship I had exited. That experience was very stressful and it was very dire for me, obviously. I had family suggest that I stay with them in another city, but I knew in my heart that I wanted more for myself, and I was willing to put myself in uncomfortable situations to achieve that goal. So, knowing that I had no other choice but to follow my heart, knowing that I would never be satisfied, I paved the way for myself. I held on to hope and I stuck with my manifestation routine, and no matter what the circumstances showed me, I refused to let myself stay there. I was going to the gym, going for walks, eating as best as I could. I was working 2 jobs that I didn't like either of them, and honestly, I felt doubtful and questioned whether or not my life would ever improve. As it turns out, I was able to manifest my now husband, and since then we have been in a partnership together that has supported me through all of the ups and downs that it took for me to transform from who I was May of last year to who I am today. And I do credit a lot of my ability to progress to having the proper support and guidance, having somebody who loved me and helped me through those worst days. However, I also acknowledge it was my mindset. It was my tenacity. It was my faith that got me up out of bed every morning to face every obstacle head on, to overcome every challenge, both emotional and physical, to become this version of myself. I know if you felt called to join the Confidence Club and you felt called to watch this video today, that what I'm telling you might be kind of shocking or surprising. We did just celebrate our 1-year channelversary, and I hit so many milestones, over 2,500 subscribers. I've reached over 69,000 people. In the time from my beginning of my weight loss journey to hitting my first big weight loss goal, I lost over 80 pounds. Obviously, I met my specific person, or manifested my specific person, and manifested us being married together. And obviously, like, I've made so much profound progress. I want to remind you today, though, it's not going to happen how you expect it, and it's not going to happen in the timeline you're demanding it to if you're stressed about the timing. It will unfold the way it is naturally meant to unfold for you. If you're spending time looking around at other people's lives, trying to compare yourself, oh, well, it took them this many months to manifest their specific person, why is it not happening for me in this amount of time? Or it's been twice that long for me, why is it not happening? That's the wrong mindset to be in. Instead, how you should feel every single day is, it's on its way to me. And what can I do today to feel good while I am in this process of allowing the future to unfold before me? When I was in my car, I was looking at apartments that I couldn't even afford at that time. I was, I started to book tours for those apartments, knowing I didn't have a job lined up or the deposit saved to make it happen, but I didn't care. I was acting as if I was already that version of myself. I was, taking the steps to get myself comfortable with the idea that this one day will be my reality, and someday soon this will be my reality. When it came to my weight loss, I was showing up at the gym and oftentimes I would not see any results. I would not be able to lift any heavier weights. I would not be able to last on the treadmill any longer. I didn't see the scale move or my clothes fitting different, but I persisted anyways. Partly that was because going to the gym was a source of comfort for me. It was predictable, it was safe, it was something where I could take my mind off of the stress of my circumstances and focus on my affirmations. A lot of times I would use affirmation music and watch different affirmation tracks or rampages during my workouts that would inspire me and motivate me to keep going, especially on my worst days, on the days I felt like my spirit was so dim and I was breaking down and felt almost hopeless. But continuing to persist in that allowed me to shape myself into who I am today. And the beautiful thing is, I wouldn't change any of it. Of course, it's easy to wish and want for things to get better, for things to be better, for things to improve if that's what you're going through right now is difficulty. But the more beautiful thing is to cultivate an internal environment for yourself, to be able to turn into yourself and know and trust that you are safe and you are seen and you are getting to where you're going and everything is happening exactly as it should. Obviously, telling you this on the other side of trouble is very easy for me because I'm on the other side of it. But I'm also sharing this because my life for a very long time was painful. It was discouraging. It was traumatic. It was uncomfortable in a way where I was not choosing for it to be uncomfortable. Now I have the privilege of choosing my discomfort. I get to push my boundaries. I get to put myself in a situation in business that scares me. Doing live videos on YouTube is still a little uncomfortable, but every time the video is over, I feel so proud of myself for doing it. Every time I put out a piece of marketing material and I feel nervous, I feel questioning or doubt or imposter syndrome where I feel like, who am I to be sharing this information? I come back to myself and remind myself, I've been through so much already. And this is a tool that you can use to, in the midst of chaos, redirect to an empowered state of being. Remind yourself that you have been through a lot already. We all as human beings have. Of course, some people have had much easier lives than others, but who are we to say what that feels like for them? Who are we to say that our worst day is any worse than anybody else's worst day? I certainly don't talk about my story to make you feel bad if you haven't gone through the same level of discomfort that I've gone through, and I definitely don't look at my life as privileged as opposed to someone who's gone through what we as humans call objectively worse. Because my worst day was just as painful as somebody else's worst day for them. The day that I separated from my ex-husband was painful for me. The day that I had to leave my home state was painful for me. The day I had to shut down my business that I built with my own ideas and inspiration and love and passion, that was painful for me. But also letting go of all the things that were no longer serving me was the best thing that I've ever done. Recognizing that I had patterns of behavior that were harmful to me and stopping those, although it took time and patience and energy to put that new identity into effect, it was worth it. To this day, every change that I've made has been worth it. And I wouldn't have made those changes if I didn't allow myself to understand that this is a process. Manifestation, changing your life, changing who you are, changing your circumstances is a process. Be patient with yourself, go easy on yourself. There is no room for shame in your energetic garden. And the reason why is shame is like a weed that takes over the whole garden. It will outgrow every flower, every vegetable, every fruit, every tree even. It will suffocate the roots of all the beauty you've already cultivated in your life. So you have to weed your emotional garden of shame. Shaming yourself, pressuring yourself, being overly hard on yourself, telling yourself that you're doing things wrong, telling yourself that you'll never get it right, telling yourself that you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not worthy in any way is only going to destroy you. It can only serve to hold you back and keep you stuck exactly where you are. So the final thing I have to say is you are not doing as bad as you think you're doing. You're not doing things wrong. You are learning, you are growing, you are letting the work on you. And I know what I've been able to accomplish in an 18-month period. I know what I've been able to accomplish in a 12-month period. I know from my own experience, and I'm sure if you spend some time in meditation and reflection, you will too, that 1 year goes by so quickly, and yet 1 year you can accomplish so much. So keep going, keep shining, and stay positive about it. I know that you can accomplish whatever it is your heart is set out to accomplish, and I believe in you, and I am here to support you. I'll see you in the next one.